bit of a rant here, guys. Okay. I had a little bit of an argument was it this morning? No, it was last night, I think. It was last night. I got in a little bit of an argument with Kevil, with AC, with the boys on the Bottom Line View, in the Twitter DMs, talking about OBJ and his impact as a player and whether he should be paid or not. Can we just start this off by saying Odell Beckham Jr. is not a trouble off the field? Can we stop the propaganda and the bull crap that people continue to spew about Odell Beckham Jr.? Okay? What has this guy done off the field that has you concerned? Outside of a 5-second video that showed drugs in the video that he was not taking in the video, what has he done? Okay? What has he done? Yes, he's a confident football player on the field. Yes, he's competitive, which sometimes people misconstrue for other things. But when people like Tom Brady, like I'm a Patriots fan, Tom Brady, you could look at two ways. Rather, he's ultra competitive or he's at times a little bit of a baby. And you could take it one or two ways. I am one of them that takes it he is ultra competitive, which is the way that most people take it. But for whatever reason, when it comes to Odell and some of these players, like Odell, they side on the baby side, which is not the same. Just because one's a quarterback and one's white and the other is a black receiver who's young and who's on Instagram a lot, doesn't mean that one's a baby and one seeks the attention and one doesn't. Okay? Can we, stop that? Odell should be paid. Odell is one of these playmakers in the NFL that you need to pay. He is one of the 5 guys in the NFL that you need to pay at that position. Okay? I understand that people will sit here and say, hey, receivers don't really win Super Bowls. And I've said that in the past. That's fine. But you need an elite receiver. When you have a receiver such as Odell, he creates offense by himself. Why did the Giants get to the freaking playoffs 2 years ago? Because Odell Beckham created offense by himself. Look at Eli Manning's numbers. I just sent a tweet earlier. Look at Odell Beckham's numbers look at Eli Manning's numbers without Odell Beckham. Okay? So with Odell Beckham, he looks like a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback. He has a 63% completion percentage, 7 yards per attempt, 66 touchdowns to 29 interceptions, and 91.5 passer rating. All right? Pretty good overall. That's borderline Pro Bowl numbers right there. Without Odell Beckham, he is a bum. 60% completion percentage, 6 yards per attempt, 14 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. That's terrible. And then you have 75 passer rating, which is garbage. So we're talking about probably, and I said it all last year, probably the most valuable playmaker in the NFL. Not quarterback, not defensive player, because I think that a great defensive player is probably the second best player you can have outside of a quarterback. But probably the most valuable playmaker in the NFL is Odell Beckham Jr. When he plays, he is the most valuable player. And people seem to forget what he was putting up in terms of statistics before last year. This is a guy that was setting records. The first to 300 receptions. He was outpacing Randy Moss. He was outpacing Jerry Rice. Okay? This is a guy that is that generation's version of these players. If Odell continues to go at the pace that he is going at, we will not just consider Odell a great receiver, but one of the top 5 in NFL history. That is the pace that Odell has set for himself. Yes, he got injured and people seem to forget that, but at the current pace he's at, he could be that way. And now you're talking about Odell possibly being traded because teams don't want to pay him. I'm happy he's sitting because he should sit, because first he's hurt. So why should he really risk himself coming back for a team that doesn't want to pay him? That's the first thing. Second thing, why, he can be a role model. He can be a guy. not a role model, but like a guy that leads the way for NFL players, positions outside of just quarterbacks, playmakers, receivers, running backs. He can be that guy to step out and say, we need to get paid. Plus, you're looking at Odell Beckham Jr. I've talked to people now that I'm here at Ryerson. I know people from around the world. My friend is from Europe, and he says he barely watches the NFL. He never watches the NFL. But two players he knows in the NFL. He knows Tom Brady, okay, because he's the greatest of all time. But he knows Odell Beckham Jr. because he's the most popular NFL player around the world. You're not going to pay the most popular, most marketable player in the NFL. Not to mention is he, what I already said, he's this generation's Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, whatever, because of the statistics he put up. But also, he's the most marketable player. He's young. I just don't get it, okay? I just don't get it. He's one of the players that I would put on a short list in the league right now of playmakers at the receiver, tight end, receiver position that you need to pay. That's him, that's Antonio, that's Julio, and that's Gronk. Nobody else should be on the list. You should pay those guys regardless of what they're asking for, because those guys are valuable beyond belief. Only these four players, in my opinion, can change defense, the way defenses play, and absolutely take over games by themselves. That's Antonio Brown, that's Odell, that's Gronk, and that's Julio. Those four players should be treated as such, as players that are great at pass rushing that can take over a game, as great offensive linemen. They should be paid the same. Plus, you're talking about, okay, so Odell wants $20 million. Whatever. Sammy Watkins is making 16, and Sammy Watkins isn't even in the same universe. So anyways, that's my rant about Odell Beckham Jr. I just don't understand it, guys. I need your help with this one. Anyways, Sammy Watkins is making $16 million a year, and we're mad that Odell wants 20. Sam Bradford, okay, is making $15 million guaranteed. Do you want me to look up the career statistics for Sam Bradford? Sam Bradford is making 15 guaranteed and 20 million this year, and he didn't even play last year. Okay? Stop.